Okay, for 48, they want the range and the interquartile range. So range is just what's the range of your data, how far does it span? So the difference between your maximum and your minimum number. So like before, helpful if we have this in order. So negative 13 is the smallest. And then negative 5.2, then negative 4. And then 6, 8, 10. Oh, there's a 4 in here. Got really used to using the same numbers over and over. Okay, so negative 13, negative 5.2, negative 4, and then 4, 6, 8, and then 2 10s, so a 10 and a 10, and then 12.6. Okay, so here's all our numbers in order, and that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers. Okay, so the range. What's the difference between the biggest number and the smallest number? So how far apart are they? This is also a good way of showing why when you subtract numbers to find the difference, but why when you subtract a negative, it's the same as adding. So for the range, I have 12.6 minus negative 13. So that's the same as plus 13. Why is it plus? Well, if we're trying to find out how far away the two numbers are, from negative 13 to 0 is 13 units, and then from 0 to 12.6 is another 12.6 units. So they're further away from each other, not closer. And so it looks like my range is 25.6. Okay, so then the interquartile range is the difference, the distance between Q1 and Q3. And why would that be interesting? Well, because if this one is the 25th percentile, just draw my box plot for a visual, and this is the 75th percentile, the interquartile range represents the middle 50% of data. So it's people who are above 25% but below 75%, so it's the middle half of the data. Okay, so we need to find Q1 and Q3. And they don't ask for this here, but sometimes just to find a middle is kind of nice. If this is 9 numbers, then the middle is what? So 50% of the way through 9 numbers is 4.5. So then you take the 5th number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is our median. So I can tell there's 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side of it. So that makes that in the middle. And so then if I go, what's 25% of the way through 9 numbers? I could do that, or at this point, you could kind of tell, especially since you cut it there, to cut this into even quarters. You'll have 2 numbers here and 2 numbers here. And same thing, you'll have 2 numbers here and 2 numbers here. Let's, just if you were eyeballing it, like where you think that they should be. Okay, so then we'll follow our little locator rule. So the locator, if I want to be 25% of the way through 9 numbers, 0.25 divided by, times 9 is 2.25. And if you land on a whole number, you go halfway in between. If you land partway in between, so this is saying take the 2.25th number, you round up and take the 3rd number. So that would be this one, becomes Q1. And then for the Q3, if I want to know what's 75% of the way through 9 numbers, it's 6.75. And since that's not a whole number, I round up and take the 7th number. So this is 5, 6, 7. Okay, so then the interquartile range is what's the distance from Q1 to Q3. So from negative 4 to 10 is 14 units. And sometimes you'll see this also abbreviated IQR. So interquartile range is 14. So there's a distance of 25 from the highest to the lowest. There's a distance of 14 from the 25th percentile to the 75th percentile.